Hi everyone, welcome back to Beyond Everything Season 2. It's so loud.
Yeah.
I'm Sarah,
And I'm Yasmin.
and today for this episode, we're going to be talking about a bunch of things, starting with our summer holidays, and then we're going to move on to Saudi's Mirror Wall,
Yeah, and
Smart
it's
City.
a new creation that's very weird and very unique, and it links to the future cultures that we're studying this semester in our class. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So, we're going to start off with how Sarah's summer went.
How Yasmin's summer went.
No, we're talking about you now.
Okay, so for summer, I traveled to Egypt, and
What did
I
you
was-
guys do?
I was at the beach just for 2 months, like most of the time. It was really good. I saw my family, my friends. I went to the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. And yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, that seems like fun.
What about you?
I just stayed in Dubai. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. But yeah, next
It was
summer
not
we're
so
going to...
hot.
No, it wasn't that bad because I stayed indoors most of the time and it was just peaceful. So yeah, like it wasn't that bad.
Honestly, Egypt was really fun, but I just really miss Dubai. Like, after 2 months of being there, I'm just like, I'm ready to come back. Not that it was bad, it was really, really good. Like, I got to see my family because my family, like, they don't, most of them don't live here. So it's really important that I go every year and see them. And I also went to a hotel with my family friends, and it was really good. And it was so fun. It's like the first time I went to the Red Sea ever. So I was really excited about that. And I went snorkeling. Yeah, it was really good. But I didn't go scuba diving. I was a bit scared.
You
But
should start scuba diving like
my-
next summer. Like
yeah,
you should
my-
definitely try it out.
My siblings did scuba diving. And it looked fun, but I don't know, just like you know, they put like a whole tank on you and like add weights, so like you're way down and you go all the way down. Even though it wasn't that deep, it was like 10, 20 meters max. But, you know.
It seems like something very scary, and especially with you since you're like claustrophobic and you don't like the
Yeah.
like everything. Like it's just very scary. Like I think you'd be able to do it because you're very fit and you know how to swim. But like when it comes to that, like I'd be scared as well
It
because
is
like
really
the
scary.
water and the
And I
tanks.
thought, and I like thought I would see like sharks and stuff, but no, it was like there was so much corals, and it was all like colorful fish and whatever, and yeah, there was no like sharks or
It actually seems
stingrays,
like
which I'm
fun.
really surprised about. But yeah, it was really really fun.
You should definitely try that next year.
You should come next year.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's see what
Don't say
happens.
hopefully, just come.
Okay, shut up, Sarah.
Okay, so what are we?
Sorry
gonna talk
for
about?
being
What are we-
rude.
Okay, it's okay. So let's move on to
The next
main
topic.
that we're going to be talking about.
So we're going to be talking about the creation that Saudi is working on, and it seems kind of scary and futuristic. So they're creating a city, it kind of mimics a wall, but the width of the city is going to be 200 meters and 500 meters tall, and the span, of the length, is going to be 170 kilometers, and it's going to be able to fit 9 million people. So from the outside, the city looks extremely long, and the wall is like a mirrored exteriors on both sides. So it kind of looks like an invisible city. That's what I think.
Insert photos here of the city, but it's honestly when I saw TikTok about it, and it looks really cool. It looks very futuristic and whatnot, and it's mirrors on both sides in the middle of the desert. So it's as if there's you feel like you're still in the desert, so it looks a bit spacious.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about the actual city itself. I mean, obviously it's a very innovative idea, and it's also just going along with just moving forward and continuing to develop in whatever technology wise. But I don't think it's the smartest idea. It's ironic because it's
Honestly,
smart
when
city,
you
but-
think about it, 50 years, before, in the past, they wouldn't have, believed what was going on. And they would have been
Yeah,
wow,
100%.
that's weird. We never thought about that. How is it going to be in the future and everything? So, I feel now, we're not used to that, and that we're kind of, being weird about it.
in disbelief.
But-
I mean, it was kind of bound to happen that what's it called? That a new city would be built and whatever, because obviously you're only
Yeah.
moving forward from here on then. But I feel like, I don't know, it's very dangerous. Like, just picture this in your head, like, one little thing goes wrong, the whole city, like, kind of collapses, because everything's, I don't know if you've seen how it looks like, but everything's just so close together and, like, intact, and, like, it's built in a way where basically everything's close to you, like, within, like, 5-minute distance. So, like, let's say your school is here, there would be a hospital here, there would be, like, I don't know, like, offices here, food there, and they're just, like, all kind of, like, stacked.
I
You know
feel
what I
as
mean?
though like we shouldn't judge it like as for now because we don't know what's gonna happen and how it's gonna be and everything. And it's gonna be a really like big city, like in length and everything. And it's gonna take 20 minutes to like reach like the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
city
get
from the
that.
beginning.
And it's like 170 kilometers?
170 kilometers,
Yeah, and it would
which
only take 20 minutes to reach from beginning to end, which is actually insane. Because normally that would take you like, I don't know, like 6 hours.
I feel as though everyone's gonna be close and everyone's gonna see each other. And you can't avoid one another because you're just gonna be in the same place and
Yeah, exactly. But I don't
there's no
know.
privacy.
And like they
So
said that it would be surrounded by like nature and like trees and like the top would be kind of like opened. So it's like oxygen, whatever is like actually entering. But I don't know, it still seems scary to me.
it's kind of weird, but
Imagine,
like
like, just picture this, an earthquake happens, then what? Everything's so close together. Everything, do you think it would like help actually like counteract an earthquake or would it be worse?
honestly, I feel as though like the government and like the prince who's like working on it, they're gonna be they're gonna get people from all over the world to like look into it and for like safety and like precautions and everything. So I feel as though it's gonna be like very well planned out and like it's gonna like stick to one another. And one thing that I read as well is that the weather is just gonna like stay like the same. And it's gonna be like a comfortable like temperature for everyone. Like it's not gonna be too hot or too cold. Like the weather is gonna be really nice.
I don't know about you, like I feel like that just kind of defies like the whole human nature way.
Exactly.
Like, just
I
I
was
feel like
about
it's
to say
natural
that.
to have seasons and like different temperatures and all of that, but to have like one regulated temperature, I mean, it definitely reminds me of that movie that we watched, Elysium.
Elysium, yeah.
Elysium and PCM 325, where they just had like a whole other world that's like a perfect world, you know?
And for the possibility, like within like the whole smart city that's gonna be created, I feel as though people are gonna be shocked and happy since it's something new and like unique and like it links to the future and everything. But I feel as though like if I was put in that position, like I wouldn't know what to do because we'd all be like stuck and
Yeah.
like you feel as though like you're like not part of the world anymore because you're like you're in
you
like
feel
your own
isolated.
world.
I feel like you would feel isolated and
It's
like
kind of like a jail.
you're not in a country anymore. It's kind of like a
It's a very
I don't know,
weird
not
thing.
like a zoo, but like do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you
It's
mean.
it's like a man-made world basically. Like you're not living.
And everything's
honestly anymore.
man-made, and I feel as though people who live in this world, like they appreciate the nature, like traveling around,
Yeah.
going to different places, and I feel as though like it's gonna be like a big culture shock, even though like it's not like a new thing, like
And if
culture.
if you think about it, I feel like also because in the Saudis mostly Arabs live there, and like we're used to the warm temperature.
Yeah.
Imagine they just keep it at like a cool temperature at all times, and just people would have to regulate their bodies to that and just get used to it. But yeah, I don't like this temperature thing. The rest I feel like I can kind of wrap my head around, but the temperature thing, I would want there to be different seasons and like, you know, move how the rest of the world moves. But yeah, I feel like tourism-wise and all of that, do you think this would attract more people or not?
Honestly, I feel like people who are like into the futuristic stuff and if they're like, what's the word? If they're interested and they're like curious about it, they want to check it out and like maybe like stay there for like a couple months, maybe a year. But honestly, like personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't like choose to live there.
Yeah.
But I think other people who like want to like see how it is might want to
But
check
like
it out.
also at the same time, you never know, like in 20, 30 years, maybe like all countries start doing that.
Honestly, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, so I'm saying like if all countries start doing that, then it would be believable that people are actually gonna move there and would live there. But I feel people would go like visit to see if it's like
Yeah.
there.
definitely. I think that will be the case. But like, I've got a question. So let's say 50 years from now, what do you think is going to happen? Like with the wall, like the smart city, do you think other countries may have it?
I think, I don't know, did they say by when they're expecting to have it built?
Honestly, I haven't read that yet. But I'm not sure. I feel as though it's still an idea and they're
Yeah,
still kind of
same.
like
Because I
looking
still
into
can't like
it.
fully believe it. I don't think it's like, not like it's not possible. It is possible, but
It is.
there's so many like factors that go into this. And like, yeah, they would need a lot. But like as an idea, I mean, it's a good idea. And I feel like in 50 years, a lot of countries are going to be like, basically like Elysium, like all the technological advances. Like you already see like the COVID robots, like you know those robots
yeah.
that like come to you and like check your temperature, and like they also have like a tray of water and whatever. I was getting a blood test like a few weeks ago, and this robot just came to me with like a cup of coffee and whatever, like the tree, and I was like, oh my god, like if somebody told me that would happen like
You wouldn't have been
10
able
years
to.
ago, or like even 5 years ago, I'd be like, what? That's not normal, like, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely, I think a lot is gonna change.
A lot is going to change, and I feel as though like a lot of smart cities are going to be created in order to like have people safe, because we don't know what might be happening like around the world, like with climate change and global warming. Maybe the wars
Yeah,
like
true.
might like
Like,
strike.
regarding like the climate change, I feel like even though like there's no like real like actual smart city here, but Dubai also has like sustainable city. I don't know if you know that, but
Yeah.
it's like next to Arabian ranches and stuff, and like everything there is just powered solarly with, I don't know if it's wind power, but it's solar power. I know that, and everything is just like meant to be sustainable and eco-friendly and all of that. So I think definitely a lot of things are going to be like that.
And smart cars as well.
Oh yeah,
We haven't talked
oh
about
my
that.
God. Electric cars are just everywhere now. Like
Yeah.
actually everywhere. Like whether you like them or not, I feel like at some point, regular cars are just not gonna be there anymore. It's just all gonna be electric. Maybe the same brands are gonna remain. Like,
But they're going to just change their model and
I'm
have
just
it
gonna
electric.
have either hybrid or electric. Definitely.
Hybrid. But I think that's a really good idea, but like
It is really good with the prices of like gas, like just getting higher every single month.
But it's decreasing now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
This month it's getting lower, but like it's really unstable.
Yeah.
So like you never know, it just goes up and down. And I feel like electric cars are definitely value for money. Like you're paying a good amount. It might be a bit more expensive than other cars, but you're never paying for gas again. Anymore.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea. And I feel as though like 20 years from now, maybe even 10 years from now, that like everything is gonna like be electrical. But like the only part like that is kind of weird is that when you're driving an electric car, it doesn't feel like you're driving a car. Like you don't feel the gas, you don't feel anything.
You don't
it's
hear the
just very
sounds because
smooth.
some people, especially like car fans, a lot of them just hate, like they just do not like.
They won't
electric
like
cars
it, but like I feel as though
because like
that's-
you know, imagine like you're getting your first car, like you want to drive, you're excited to like hear like the engine noise and like all of that stuff, and then it just doesn't happen, and you're just like, wow, this is. It feels like I don't know, if you've been in like we've been in a Tesla before. It feels like
Yeah.
you're in like a iPad, like a phone, like
yeah,
it's weird.
it's just so weird, and I don't like
It's very
it.
strange.
It's
Yeah.
very strange, and I'm kind of like
Honestly, like the
uncomfortable.
interior of it, like the design, whatever, I don't like personally.
Yeah.
Like the nice things about cars, like the leather, the stitching, like all that nice stuff, it's not there anymore. But again, it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah, and that's something that we're all gonna have to get used to eventually. And I feel like the next generation, like they're gonna be very used to it and like
Yeah,
very like
definitely.
normal about it, and they're gonna be comfortable. But us,
like
we're
now
gonna have
you see
to.
Teslas everywhere. Like it's like any other car. Like before,
Yeah.
like I remember like what 3 years ago, a Tesla was like a weird thing. Like when you would see a Tesla on the road, you're like, you know, it would just be like one in every like 50 cars. Now it's like it's just
A lot.
every 10 cars, there's like at least 3 Teslas. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot, you know.
And it's kind of weird, but like it's not weird. It's just that like getting your mind into it, like thinking like, oh, that's an
Yeah.
electrical car,
It
and we're
reminds
all
me of,
gonna
like,
have that.
You know when we were younger in school and they would ask us that question of like, what do you think the world would like have like in 20 years, and we'd be like flying cars and stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we're like beyond that. There is flying cars, by the way.
No, there is.
One, I saw it on Instagram, I think. A flying car, like I think it's the first one. Flying
It's
car
actually
mobile.
insane. Imagine.
Yeah, it's
But like
so
imagine how
weird.
cool it is, because like imagine you're just like stuck in traffic and like you're trying to like get past and you just fly up and go.
Honestly,
That would be so cool.
I feel as though like having flying cars is very dangerous. 'Cause,
I don't
like,
think, like, generally, I don't think that's going to be part of
I
the
don't
future.
think that's possible.
Like, I
'Cause you
think-
already have planes and everything, so
What would be the use of a flying car, you know?
exactly, and it's
It's made to
dangerous.
be on the ground.
It's
So-
dangerous, and like imagine like getting your like driving license. It's gonna take like years to get your flying license. So
What
like,
else? There's a lot of, like,
like new
climate, all of that
innovations.
initiatives that they're taking, like, also electric scooters,
Yeah,
which personally, I don't know. I just,
like when you like
I wouldn't-
drive, and like there's just like
I've never tried one. I used to have an electric scooter when I was young, but it was one of those like toy ones, you know, like
Yeah.
the pink one. And yeah, like, I remember I got it from Hamleys. It was so nice.
But
Like, now I'm
electric
too big for that.
scooters.
But electric scooters, you see them everywhere. Like people come to uni with them. People go from places. Like I see people like entering malls and like they just park. They put their electric scooters somewhere. They park it and then they just enter. You know. And it's also like foldable. Like you carry it with you. And it's like. So yeah, I guess it's good for the environment though. But yeah.
I find it cool and everything, but like when driving, like they kind of get in the way, and it's just very dangerous. Cause like, what if they fall? What if something
You know,
happens
there's
to
cream
them?
scooters as well. Like you can.
Yeah, I know
You can
about
get
that.
one.
And Korean bikes as well. I think they have
Yeah.
that. So I think like where everything's going right now, like it's for the future. Like the smart wall is for the future. The Tesla electrical cars.
Yeah,
are
because
for
both
the
ways these
future.
things like the technology advancements are like happening anyways. So you kind of have to adapt to that. You can't just like have all the countries around you like moving forward and you just stick to the same place because you're
Exactly,
like
yeah.
scared of like, you know, or like you don't like how it looks like or all of that. Like they're not gonna be thinking about that.
What's your vision 50 years from now? What do you think
I don't
it's gonna be like?
just
If
say
you had
that
to.
that wall thing. I don't think in 50 years though. I think in 100 years. Like I think by it's 2022. I think by like 2100. By yeah, 2100. I feel like there would be smart cities definitely. Like that mirror wall thing. I think there would be at least one of those.
And I feel like global warming won't be as bad because we're starting to like
Yeah,
take it into consideration, and we're like
definitely.
being more cautious when doing things, when creating things, and like these engineers are like really paying attention to like what is like the best for like this world and the climate and everything. And I think that's a really good idea, and it's a really good initiative, and that it should come to that. But let's see what happens. Maybe 10 years from now we're gonna have that
Yeah.
wall. It's gonna be
You
weird.
never know. I also want to talk about one more thing that I saw on what's it called?
TikTok.
No, not TikTok. I saw a photo on Instagram this morning. Like I woke up in the morning, I was just in shock. I was like, what? I saw a photo of Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber.
Gonna be there.
We'll put it
Or there.
somewhere here. So Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber, and I was just like, is this real? And basically, Selena Gomez is Justin Bieber's ex, and Hailey
And they've
Bieber
been together
is-
for like nearly a decade, or
Yeah,
maybe
and-
longer than a
Yeah,
decade.
really
on
long
and
time.
off.
Like, it was a thing like back then, you know. And Hailey Bieber is his current wife, so it was like kind of like people were just like in shock, even though there was no like actual beef or anything going on between them.
I feel like jealousy was involved
people-
on Hailey
yeah.
Bieber's side.
Maybe I'm not really sure. I never like read really into it, but they were together at this like I think it was like a Rolex event or something like that, and they posted their first public photos together. You can check it out on. We're gonna put it here, but you can also go to E News Instagram and they have it there. And yeah, it's basically like I guess it's to show like unity and like after like Hailey Bieber's been married to Justin for like 4 years.
No,
and you know
less. 2,
4 years.
actually.
That's actually like that's a really long. I didn't even know 4 years. So they've been married for 4 years, and I think like even Hailey Bieber came out in like an interview a couple of weeks ago, I think, or days ago, and she was just mentioning like the relationship and like what's going on with Selena Gomez and like what actually happened, and like I think this photo was like a form of just like
Getting together and
getting together and just like moving past that whole Selena and Justin thing, because like you can't really blame Hailey. Like people come and go. Like you know, like you never like. I mean, if Justin didn't want to stay with Selena, then that's kind of it is what it is.
it
you
is
know?
what it is, but
Life
like
goes on, and I think it was generally time to move past it
because everyone like
it's been a topic for a hot minute.
and
so-
you have to keep in mind that like the hate that Hailey Bieber was receiving by Selena Gomez, like her fan
Fans
base,
and
her
whatever.
really large fan base, and it was
Yeah.
just really getting out of hand, and the cyberbullying was getting really, really bad, and just
Yeah, I think this
Crazy.
post was kind of like a good way to end stuff
And find
put
its
stuff
closure.
aside and just move on. And it was just showing like unity and like, also like
Exactly.
a feminist perspective to that, like how like females should like stick together and all of that. So they
and I
definitely
feel as though that was
struck
very
that.
like nice and a really good move.
Yeah, it was really like just like a nostalgic thing, 'cause, like,
Yeah.
something that you didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
So see, there's many probabilities and possibilities.
And that's a
But
good
yeah, I
thing.
think that's a good way to end today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to comment what you would like to see next, and also your thoughts on.
The Hailey Bieber thing and Selena
Yeah.
Gomez and the smart wall. We'd really like to know what you guys
Yeah.
think about it, since it's something
And what you guys
that
think,
like everyone has different opinions
Yeah.
towards it. So that's
and your
just,
vision for 10 years or 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for
Bye.
watching.
How do I pause?